is it again?
All of that really is my wife.
Should I leave?
And we're going to roll an intro I haven't made yet, but hopefully it looks good.
Your voice changes when you do that.
Still married, I think.
Oh my gosh. What's the question? I can't with you right now.
Hey, you moved on. That means we can leave it in there. What?
I have no choice in the matter. I just live here.
You work here too, so it's a little
Facts.
more than that. You really want a new one?
Just move on. I can't. Just move on.
All right. Uncommon questions. Ooh. All right. What? Not what. Oh my gosh. We're going to have to start over. Not with the question, like, because, my gosh. Words, life, and things.
Uncommon questions. We are not sponsored. We just really like them.
That is true. When was the last time you felt a sense of self-confidence?
Why do you ask me hard questions?
I picked them at
My
random because I was told to pick them at random.
The last three have been horribly hard.
I just realized I put these in here backwards.
What's new?
Sometimes it's better to turn it around.
Gosh, we're gonna get flagged. Self-confident. That one is difficult. I mean, there's a lot of different times that I have really felt confident, but probably recently at work, I was asked to do something. I'm in a management position and I don't normally do interviews for other managers, and I was asked to help with a recent hiring process. So that really boosted my confidence that I am doing something right. So, yeah.
Yeah. I talk for a living, and it terrifies me. Mm-hmm. So that's usually where I feel confident. It's also one of my, not confident, ambition is one of my core values that I'm trying to work on. And being more confident is one of those. So like doing this or talking, or I'm teaching now too, which is weird because I'm the guy that has to read homework and answer the questions.
Yeah.
Don't always know what I'm talking about.
Which is funny because you love doing it.
I do.
But getting you to do it is like pulling teeth.
Oh my gosh. Shh.
Hey, no topic is off limits. Well, there's like one area that we probably won't talk about because ratings, family friendly. But yeah.
I think we could still talk about that and be family friendly. Not today, though.
There would be a lot of fruit references, though.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Nope.
So what are we talking about today?
Housework. The chores have to get done. The house needs to be clean. And we're not talking about just the honey-do list. Like, we've been here for 4 or 5 months, and I still haven't put the dog door in.
Yeah.
Not talking about that stuff, but the general everyday house stuff. And clearly, like, this bookshelf is empty because we haven't unpacked yet, and that book is full because those are the books I use all the time for work. Mm-hmm. Anyway, usually this issue comes down to expectations, but in a partnership, the chores, and I don't know the right word for that, housework, chores, things, whatever. Not all of us have children who are capable of emptying the dishwasher safely. The dishwasher still has to be emptied, but what it usually happens is it comes down to one person ends up doing all of the housework and the other person does not do any. And they're not in a season where there's a long work day. Like, if your husband's an oil field worker and he's gone 14, 15 hours a day, I wouldn't expect him to come home and empty the dishwasher. But
maybe not the first day that he comes home. But no, that's a good point because, we've had moments where I did all the chores and you came home. And then now it's a little bit more where you do most of the chores and I help out where I can because that's just where our situation is.
Yeah.
But when you were in school full time, I did all the chores anyways, but you helped out where you could.
Sure.
And so
Well, it was part of when I was in school. I was in a truck and I wasn't home for 3 weeks at a time.
this is also true.
But whatever it is, there's an expectation that's usually from how we grew up that says that I'm saying this as a reference, not that I think this. Women should be barefoot and pregnant, taking care of all of the stuff, right? The cliche that we've heard for years. And the men need to be out doing whatever it is guys do to make money.
Earning money,
Yeah. Well, clearly we are not that way. I make a little bit of money. All right.
You contribute.
Yes. But the season we're in, my schedule allows me to be able to do the majority of the everyday stuff. And that's fine. I think the problem is husbands expect their wives to do everything, traditionally speaking. And somewhere along the way, wives get tired of doing everything and want help, but they don't ever talk about it. That's just the expectations. Then there's a lot of resentment, and then the big D word comes in, and it's, yeah.
Well, it's also I'm doing everything all day, and then the men are getting frustrated because the women are exhausted at the end of the day. So, there's no fruit being exchanged.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to work this in. So, and that's the traditional gender role. Now, it can also go the other way where the woman is not helping. So, like, we fully understand that it can be on either side of things. But at the end of the day, what is that expectation?
Yes. And so something we talk about a lot is communication. And if you have a really good premarital counselor, you will have addressed this already. But taking the expectations and comparing them, like in my family, the husband usually always takes care of the cars. Well, there are some ladies out there who don't have a husband to take care of the cars. So they have to be mom and dad, essentially.
Or let's even, there are some women out there that are able to take care of the cars, or there's some households where the men are not automotively inclined as well.
And you know who we're talking about.
I love you.
Anyway, whatever it is, that's being unintentionally stereotypical. There's a bunch of words.
Wow. Good job.
Anyway, whatever it is, all of the stuff that we don't ever think about, like I was having a conversation with somebody over, have you ever manually checked your condensation drain pan in your air conditioner? I don't know. It sits on the ground outside, so if there's ever water in it, it just goes outside. But I'm a guy, and so stereotypically, that should be my responsibility. I'm like, I don't know. My thermostat tells me when the air conditioner is broken. Frankly, so does my car.
I'm just thankful that the car turns on. So
Right? But your husband's a gearhead, so chances are pretty good the car's going to...
I understand
Your car will always turn on unless something's actually broken. My car may not turn on because it's not physically put back together.
That's a whole other thing.
If you are a car guy, or if you're not a car guy, there's always a unwritten rule of car guys that your wife's daily driver will always work.
Yes.
We don't touch that car. We don't modify it. We just change the oil, the windshield wipers, and we put tires on it. That's it. Our race cars, my race car's been broken for 3 weeks now.
But you still drive it every day.
Yes, it's not broke. It's just broken. All of the car guys understand what I just said.
And all the wives are shaking their heads with me. So that's fine.
Anyway, the thing is, whatever the expectations are, the housework still has to get done. Sit down and have a conversation about whatever it is, right? Cars, dishes, finances. Who's cleaning the bathtub?
Who's cleaning the toilet?
Yeah. And it sounds dumb and we joke about it, but if you want fruit exchanges, take out the trash.
Right.
Does wonders for your marriage.
Right.
Right? If you what's his name? Ralphie May. DVR saved marriage.
Wow.
Right? That guy. Anyway, if you don't know who that is, don't Google. You're not know.
He's
Anyway.
a comedian that's very rated well past R.
Yes. Anyway, he has a bit where he says that DVR saved marriage because before DVR, you're traditionally speaking, the wife would be like, "Honey, can you take out the trash?" And it's Sunday afternoon, and he's watching football. And oh yeah, baby, I'll take out the trash. You know, first quarter's over. Honey, can you take out the trash? Oh yeah, baby, I'll take out the trash. Halftime, louder. Will you take out the trash? You get to the end of the game, and his wife is just screaming out, "Would you take out the bleeping trash?" Well, good grief, you don't need to get grumpy about it. Well, it's been by this time 3.5 or 4 hours. Now we have DVR. Baby, can you take out the trash? Bloop. Yeah. All right, I'll get on it. Take out the trash, come back in and push play. Now, we have a different negotiation and understanding, but in the big, broader understanding of DVRs have saved marriage because then you can just take out the trash. In our case, you just put it in the way, so the next time I get up, I have to take out the trash.
Okay, you can't skip to the end of that story.
I certainly can.
Gosh.
It's my show.
I named it. Come on.
That is true.
No, our first, not even 6 months. It was like our first 2 months of marriage, middle of football season, and we did not live in the best neighborhood, So as a safety thing, I didn't take the trash out. It wasn't that I physically couldn't. It was a safety thing. So I cleaned the whole kitchen and the whole rest of the house, and it was his day off. And so he was watching football. It's totally fine. The one chore that he had to do that day was take out the trash. And
isn't being newlyweds with nothing else to worry about great? Because
I
the only thing you
know.
have to do at the end of the day is throw out all your paper plates.
right, I think it hadn't been done that week, so it was full. And of course I had cleaned, so everything was actually put where it was supposed to. But football game, I feel like it was an Eagles game.
Probably.
So, because you were like super invested in it.
Most other games are negotiable.
Yeah. But I took the trash. Hey, can you take out the trash? Yeah, babe. Can you take out the trash? And I think I got through every quarter. I came in. And it did happen to be during gameplay, to be fair. However, I gradually moved the trash can closer so that by the end of the game, the trash was basically in his lap because I'm not a nag. I'm not like everyone has their
She's
thing.
not.
I'm
no,
not.
not at all.
But I also know that he is a very visual person, and the trash can being in the way was the only way that he was going to remember it.
Oh my gosh.
So it's kind of become a running joke over the years, but he learned.
Now we make the kids do it.
Yeah. But during commercial breaks was our negotiation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You brought it up.
Oh no, I just think it's hilarious. I don't always remember the stories as vividly as she does. That happened. I know it happened. I was trying to remember. What's that one? Oh, the Mountain Dew.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that was gross. We'll save that story for later. Anyway, whatever it is, whether it's the trash needs to go out or your car's been telling you that your left blinker fluid's been out for the last month and a half, whatever. Establish whatever season you're in. Like when we first got married, we were pretty 50-50. When our children were when our son
When
was
the kids were
born,
born.
I took on a little bit more housework while working because you need to take care of two people. And then as you got back to work and stuff like that, we switched it back to 50-50. And then we had more children, but I had a normal job. And now we're in a season where you have a normal structured, you have to be at work at a certain time, and I don't. So I can fit most of the stuff in our day. We also have a robot vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. But we had to talk through expectations, and a big thing was like what do we need to make sure actually gets done on a daily, and what things maybe not so much. Like we
Sure.
don't have to empty the trash every day. So if it doesn't
We do
get
now.
done, well, yes, but there was a time where, if that trash was
Yeah.
half empty,
Now
whatever.
it's if the dishwasher doesn't run twice, we're not having dinner.
yeah.
Anyway, yes, whatever season you're in, you need to sit down and talk about it. We've talked about strategy meetings, date day, whatever it is. You need to have date days that are no business. Well, you can have that kind of business, but date days. But then you have strategy meetings that are, we call them strategy meetings, whatever. Every so often we sit down and have a discussion about the season we're in, if our responsibilities need to change, and where the next step is. We also talk about goals and life direction and stuff at the same time. But specifically, like 9 o'clock on a Tuesday when you just got done running your kids all around is probably not when you're frustrated, is not the most healthy time to talk about needing to change your responsibilities. But setting a time, hey, can we talk about house responsibilities on date day? Yes, do that.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
But also don't attack your partner.
No, because they're human. We're not going to get it right.
Well, and when we were having an unbalanced period, you had no clue.
Yeah.
None at all. So, had I attacked you, you would have put your defenses up and you would not
Sure.
have actually listened. And same thing for me is if I'm not pulling my weight and, there are some times where I'm just physically exhausted and I'm not pulling my weight. At the end of the day, like dishes is one that's just my thing. But if the laundry doesn't get folded, because let's be honest, the laundry gets folded in 10 to 7 or 7 to 10 business weeks in our house. But that's,
Our washer never stops.
it doesn't. And our children now just pick through the laundry pile, but it's all clean. But at the end of the day, like we're on the same page. Like if someone was to just randomly just stop in, because that's now part of our reality. We clean the toilets and make sure that there's not, toothpaste in the sink because our kids are disgusting. But that's our reality.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it.
And so seasons and communication, whatever season you're in, talk about how you can both be 100% in. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's a season where 110 is needed, but whatever it is, the point is to talk about it and set the expectations isn't the right word, but the reality. Like, this is where we're at. I need help. I can't do it all. And if you're going to be grumpy with me because I can't do it all, maybe you should do something.
Yeah.
Don't say it like that.
Yeah. But we also need to make sure it's reasonable.
Yeah. Like, if you're both coming home at 6 o'clock at night after picking up kids at daycare because you both have full-time jobs, the trash still has to go out. Hold your head up, get through this season, but have a discussion about understanding the reality of life is rough right now because we're both doing all of this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then figure out a plan.
Yeah, because the baseboards do not have to be cleaned every week.
Or ever.
That's some people's things, but there are some things that, some people wash the walls on their, so just make sure that it's reasonable.
Yeah. We have a vacuum that runs by itself.
But not everybody's in a place where they
I
can afford
know.
that.
I know. Life goals.
Life goals. Yes.
Because that's like an hour and a half of my day that I don't have to.
Right.
But I also physically carry the vacuum cleaner to the office and push spot clean. So it vacuums the office too.
One might say that's lazy. One person might say efficient. You pick your side.
Yeah, but I can do other stuff. Anyway, whatever it is, right? And you also have to, do we have time for this? Yes, we have time for this. Very quickly. You also have to understand and decide what's important. Mm-hmm. And this is the only thing that comes to mind. I like clean cars.
Yes. I don't care.
Yeah. So I don't expect you to go out with the brush and the spray and actually clean through all the stuff in the cars because you don't care. Mm-hmm. I do. And so I make time to go out and clean at least my car. Your car looks okay. My car usually looks a little
There
bit.
was a season where I lived out of my car essentially, and yes,
Yeah, it happens.
but
Generally speaking, though, and some of that comes from, we'll call it past trauma. Like, I hate having stuff in the car at all. Doesn't matter whether we're using it or not. Because my biggest injury from all of my car accidents is getting hit with my phone. That's the part that hurt. So I hate having stuff in cars. So I clean them out, but I also want them to be clean, outside, inside. Yeah. Like, I want the bottle of cleaner to be able to slide off the top of the car because they're that clean and you don't care. And that's fine. So expectations, right? I don't expect you, and you shouldn't expect somebody who doesn't care to take that back. There are some people who don't care if the trash goes out. That's not what we're talking about. There are things that need to be done. If you don't take
there's
the
a
trash.
difference between hygiene
Yes.
and,
I was like, somebody's going to
picky.
take this. Well, I don't care if the trash goes out. I'm like, but you should.
yes.
I totally just burped. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
We encourage you to not be on an episode of Hoarders. I'm going
Yeah.
to leave it at that.
But yes, there are things like that. Like, guys have hobbies.
Yeah.
And there's no need for us to expect our spouses to clean up our hobbies. Like, clean up your own mess.
Well, yeah, my craft stuff was all over this table up until today. Is it annoying? Yes. And you cringe at that. But at the same time, you have not given me the side eye or the
No.
stink eye or,
Laugh, though. For you, a clean house is if there's no dishes in the sink.
Yeah.
For me, it's if the table and the island are cleared off.
Communicate those things.
I have. It's on the chore chart. My goodness. Don't call me out. It's written on the wall.
And in all things, do it in love.
Yeah.
We should have a bumper sticker that says that.
There probably is a bumper
There
sticker.
probably is. I probably heard it somewhere and just really liked it. Anyways, I still like you. But
Right? That's good. I still like you too. All right. Any other thoughts?
no,
Okay.
maybe. But
What?
no, we're running out of time. No, we're fine.
It's 6 minutes. All right. Guys and gals, as always, if you are struggling with a mental health issue or feel like you need to go see a real therapist, it is okay not to be okay.
That's my line.
I know. Well, then say it. Seriously, though, go find a mental health professional. We are not it. We are not mental health professionals. We are trying to take a humorous approach to everyday life and help you see that life can be better. But we cannot tell you how to get there or how to fix your brain. That's somebody else's job. We love you. Thank you for watching. Please watch again. As always, at My Wife Still Likes Me, mywifestilllikesme.com. Comment, like, subscribe, send us mail, whatever. See ya.